in by standing in the middle of your mat, feet hip width apart, wiggle your toes, scrunch up your toes. Now start pressing into the mat, so pushing those toes down into the mat. Arches underneath the feet, so curling the feet. Soften the knees. Knees hip width. A little bit of a bend. Tuck the tailbone under. So you've got that nice direct line from that tailbone going down to the floor. Find the pelvic floor and pull in. If you're looking down, now start lifting. TVA, transverse abdominis, drawing in where that tummy button sits, draw it back to the spine. Lift the rib cage, take the shoulders back. Find the length at the back of the neck. Take the eye gaze up so you're looking directly ahead. And just feel the crown of the head. Crown chakra right at the top, drawing up towards the sky or the ceiling. We're going to put in pelvic floor TVA 100%. So it's maximum effort on those two muscles. Pull in, hold for 6 seconds, and then we're going to take a slow release. So 100% ready. Pelvic floor, TVA, really work it. Pull it in and squeeze. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slow release. And again. Pull in, really squeeze, really hold that pelvic floor. Find that tummy button and pull in. Lift the rib cage, don't hold your breath. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slow release. Once more. Pelvic floor, big squeeze. TVA, really work it. Pull it in. Don't hold the breath. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slow release it to halfway. 50%. We're going to go. So lift the arm up level with the shoulder. Pelvic floor TVA at 50%. Ear down to shoulder. Take that shoulder glide. Reach that hand out to the side. Maybe place your hand on what we're stretching here. So place the other hand just gently on your side. There's that side stretch. It's like a kettle, isn't it, this move? Recenter it, take the arm up towards the sky. Then you're going to place your hand on your other side. Take it over for your side stretch. I want you to feel the muscles you're stretching. Starting to feel the stretches. Pull the tummy in, recenter it. We're going to go to the other side. So lifting that arm up level with your shoulder. Keep the shoulders down away from the ears. Slowly ear down to shoulder. Reaching out to the side. Shoulder glide it. Placing that hand on the side for the kettle. Teapot. That's what I meant. Teapot move. Recenter it. Press into the feet. Lift that arm up to the ceiling. Go to the other side to feel the side stretch. Pulling in that TVA on that side stretch. And slow release it out. And again, other side, lift. Pulling in that pelvic floor. Ear down to shoulder. Teapot move, reach out to the side. Holding the muscles at the stretch. Take that arm up towards the sky. Take it over for that big side bend, reaching round, holding on to the muscles you're stretching. Pulling in that core, pressing into the feet, recenter. Last one, lift. Ear down to shoulder. Reach to the sides. Teapot. Recenter it, reach up towards the sky. Take it over, hold on to that tight muscle and that side bend. And slowly release. Elbows tucked into your side, then we're going to go for that scapular release. So just a little shake on the shoulders or a little circle. Get the shoulders down and back. Pull in pelvic floor, pull in TVA, elbows tucked in. Take the thumbs out to the sides. So we're opening now, holding those two trays, and back to center. Now watch, you're not arching in the lower back, so tuck the pelvis under. And again, opening. And bringing back together. Try and keep those elbows into the sides. Should feel those shoulder blades getting a really good squeeze together. And open. And in together. Are you tying it with the breath? Breathing out, open. Breathing in, recenter. 3 more. Still working with that pelvic floor. Still keeping those knees soft. Those arches engages underneath the feet. And again, last one. So now we're going to go big arm circle. So draw a big circle all the way around the body. Reach up towards the sky, maybe looking up. Circle that back around the body. Place your hands on your thighs. Slowly lowering yourself down. Bend your knees. Maybe touching the floor and then uncurl. Circle the arms all the way around. Eye gaze going up. Pull the TVA in there. So pull your tummy in. Circle it back round. Slide the hands down. Number 1 move to release that lower back. Nice and slow, just unrolling the shoulders at the top, circling round. Feel that opening, maybe the chest getting a little bit of an opening, taking a deep breath. Slide the hands down. Last one. Looking up, breathing in. Filling out the chest with air, breathing out, circling those arms down, sliding them down. Now we're going to just stay and see if you can just take a pendulum there, side to side. Just brushing your fingertips across your mat. Just keep the knees nice and soft. Engage the toes, so scrunching up the toes. Pendulum side to side. Relax your chin down towards your chest so your head's relaxed. And then slowly uncurl. Coming back up to standing. I hope you can see me alright. I can see that the sun is being a bit, bit bright on me. Just shift it again. As the sun goes round. That's a bit better, I think. If I'm in the shade a bit more. Right. I'm going to put some squats in now. So you might want to go a bit wider. Again, scrunching up your toes. Lift up your arches. Bend the knees. Squat down. Squeeze the glutes. Rise back up. Keep it simple, calm down, check that the knees don't pronate across the midline of the body, check you're squeezing those glutes as we lift. Gonna start adding in some twists. Come down, lifting up, draw one arm up over the body, and then take the eye gaze and take it behind the body. So you're putting this massive chest stretch, and then bring it back over. Swap sides, so up, like drawing a big rainbow here, over and around the body. Bring it back over, then go back down into your squat. Left, bring in your twist. Just do one side, then squat, and then the other side, twist. So we're kind of working chest opening. We get so tight in our chest with modern life. And we always kind of need to keep working and opening out with the chest because it's tied in with our breathing, where our heart muscle is. At the top, keep taking those openings, those big rainbows. Coming down into your squats, try and control the knees. Take the hips back in space. Squeeze the glutes as you lift. Keep it going. Opening at the top. Starting to loosen off a little bit now. Go 2 more. Squat. Scrunch up those toes. And open at the top. Last one. Squat. Opening at the top. Ready, come down into your squat and go up onto your toes. So we're nice and low here on our squats. Up on our toes. Then, this is a balance. Try and do an opening here. So we're balancing up on our toes. This is quite tricky, right? This is a tricky one. This is all balance. Have a go at opening. Probably really tricky with the dogs. I can see that one. That would make it super hard. Can see some dogs. And then coming back up off your squat. They're really hard balance, that one. Okay, we're going to take some lunges. So you can either do these walking around your room or garden, or simply on your mat. So what you're going to do, if you're on your mat, come to the front of your mat and step backwards, like a massive giant step. Bend the front knee, see if you can take the arms up towards the sky, and then step forwards again. So step back, lower yourself down, and step forwards. So instead of doing like single leg squats today, we're kind of working quads on the front of our legs by doing these lunges. A big giant step back, and you're going to wobble, right? Because you're going to have to use your core here, so pelvic floor and TVA, and control what's happening with that knee. The knee wants to wobble all over the place, doesn't it? So try not to let the knee wobble. If you get bored on your mat, you can walk around the room doing this. Obviously, when you're walking into your lunges, right, you're going forwards. Very different feel to stepping back. When you go forwards, you're going to put like more weight forwards over the body. So see how you feel. You might feel more comfortable stepping back. You might have more control stepping back than forwards. So whichever kind of helps you keep that control. And thinking about here, what's happening with the eye gaze? The eye gaze kind of definitely wants to go down straight away. See if you can go down into your lunge and then lift your eye gaze forwards. And then you get the opening in the heart and the chest, and your arms can go up to the ceiling. So 4 more, working into these lunges. Control the knee. Bring the eye gaze up. Start to work with the pelvic floor, the TVA engaging. Again, we're working with balance. Strengthening the knees. It's glutes too, right? Last one. Big step back or big step forwards. Brilliant. Big stride then. Widthways. Widthways on your mat. 1 foot. Just in 1 foot, I've got my toes off the mat and I've got my heels off the mat. I'm standing widthways on my mat. I'm going to push down that back heel, so it's a calf stretch. Bring the arms up over the body. Like a prayer hand, so you can interlink the fingers there if you want, or just palms together. And we're going to just take a little spiral, so just a side bend over to the side. We've done this one before. Coming forwards, just working with the upper body over to the other side and recentering. So we're working with balance, and again, so upper body's doing the work here. Spiraling forwards, and it's all around with that side body. It's such a good move. Maybe try 3 going one way, and then 3 the other, and you're still pushing down through that back heel for that calf stretch, and it is totally a balance, right? So it is actually kind of engaging everything to work into this balance. Check your scrunching up your toes, engaging your arches, pulling in pelvic floor and TVA. And what are your eyes doing? So is your eye gaze following and spiraling with you? Then we're going to interlink the fingers behind, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Oh, this is a really good one, isn't it? Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Maybe you can see me better that way. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Straighten the front foot. We're going to lean forwards. Lean the shoulders and the chest forwards. And let's see if we can get a nice straight back. Square out the hips, okay? Because the hips will want to twist there. So try and square the hips together. And you're going to get this really magic stretch hamstring on that front leg. So keep squeezing the shoulder blades together. Eye gaze goes down towards the mat. Tuck the chin into the chest so you've got the crown of the head shining forwards. Great stretch on those hamstrings. And chest and shoulders. Going to take the weight over that front foot. Release the hands, a bit of a shake. And let's just see if we can lift the back foot up. Last balance. Point the toes behind you. Pulling in the core here, so pelvic floor and TVA in. Point the toes behind, squeeze the glutes, get a little bit of tension through that back leg. Work on that balance. 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Quite tricky there, so lots of little balances. We're going to swap legs. Switch it all over. Take your big stride. Find your calf stretch, push down that back heel. Pulling that pelvic floor, so zipping in and up. Take the arms up over the head. Either interlink those fingers, prayer hands. Just check here, I mean you can get your chin right down, but really think about the crown of the head. Crown of the head going up towards the sky, and then you've got your spirals. So start drawing your circles, using your upper body. So really work with your hips and your pelvic floor, keeping still, like grounding down towards your mat, and your upper body kind of flowing, spiraling. And then the challenge is there in that balance. Try and work with that balance. Think about the eye gaze. Is the eye gaze flowing with you too? Maybe the other way around. 3 one way, 3 the other. You can always take a wider stance. If you're really struggling with that balance, maybe go a bit wider with this calf stretch that you're in. Really reaching those fingertips. Press the fingertips into each other. Last one, circling. Are you still pulling in that pelvic floor and that DVA? Last one, spiraling round. Then it was interlink the fingers behind the back. So another squeeze. Squeezing on those shoulder blades again. Straightening that front foot. Take the stretch on the hamstring on the front leg. And think about the hips here, okay? So square out the hips. The more squaring you do on the hips, the deeper that stretch is on that front leg. And then think about there, the crown of the head shining forwards. Keep squeezing those shoulders together. Try and get that nice flat back shape. So we're thinking about the crown of the head, so try not to lift the chin. Keep squeezing. And then we're going to just take our weight, bend the knee on that front foot, release the hands, lifting up that back foot, take the balance. Bring all the focus, find a point just in front of your eyes. Try not to hold your breath, find the pelvic floor. Scrunching up those toes, ready, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Brilliant, just a bit of a shake on the legs. Lots of work in there, lots of balancing. We're going to make our way down to downward dog. So meet us down in downward dog. Here we go. How is that? How is am I not too bright, right? Find yourself in downward dog, hips up towards the ceiling or sky. Spread your fingers. Head in between your arms and maybe pedaling the heels down, one heel and then the other heel. Get that stretch at the backs of the legs. Take some deep breaths here. Thinking about sending the biceps towards each other. And then you get that lovely stretch on the backs of the shoulders. You're going to go chest towards the knees. Stick with downward dog, or if you want a little bit more here, just bend the right knee, drift it towards the nose, and then you're going to lift that leg up towards the sky and stack the hips. So it's a little twist on the hips. And then again, bring the knee to the nose, and then lift, stack the hips, a little bit of a release, twist on the hips. Just one more. Right knee to nose, lift, stack the hips, take the twist, recenter in dog. If you're not doing the leg lift, you might want to go down to puppy dog. Otherwise, left knee to nose, pressing down through that back heel, lifting up, put in the twist, recenter it, knee to nose. There's a lot of upper body in this. Lift, stack the hips, really nice hip opening on that one. Last time, knee to nose. And lift, extend, bend, twist. Lovely. And bring that down into all fours position. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Find that pelvic floor, find the TVA. So we're going to go just for a normal move. I got some add-ins. So right arm extend, left leg extend. Pulling in that core, keep the hips still. Really squeezing and reaching. Eye gaze towards the front of the mat. And then all we're going to do here is bend at the knee. Keep the control, the hips still. We're going to sweep the right hand down, see if we can touch the heel. Bring the right arm back, extend, and return it all back down. Switch sides, left arm, right leg, extend. Hips still, pull in that core, pelvic floor TVA. Let's try and get that arm up level with the shoulder. We're squeezing, bending at the knee, keep the control. Keep that knee at level with the hip. Take that arm around. It's a bit like what we did with our twists and rainbows earlier. So if you can just touch, bring it back. One more, extend and squeeze, and then return. Ready for the other side. Same thing. Breathe out, extend. Squeezing that left glute. Bending at the knee. Keep that knee up level with the hip. Take the hand round. So if you can just touch that heel. Bring it back around. And switch sides. A lot of glute work here. Pull in that core, extend. Arm up level with the shoulder. Squeezing that glute. Try not to look down. Bending at the knee. Keep the control, maybe pointing toes. Reach around so if you can touch that heel. Bring it forwards. Hips are still. Let's go 2 more each side. It's looking really good. I'm watching those screens. Breathing out, extend. Try and get that leg up level with the hip, squeezing that glute bend. Reaching around, see if we can touch the heels. Back to that extension, there's so much control in here. Last time, breathing out, lift, extend, squeezing that glute. Pulling in that TVA bend. See if you can reach around, maybe touch. Lengthen it out, last little squeeze, and return it back down. That was brilliant. Lower yourself down. Move all the sticks away. You let me know if you see a snake, won't you? There'll probably be a snake creeping up on me. Take your elbows off the mat. Cactus your arms. We're going to swan dive. So take your forehead down to the mat. Breathing out, lift head and shoulders. Breathing in lower. Really simple, but it's one of those once a week things we just every week must do. And lower. Take the connection now. So find the pelvic floor on this one. So start really connecting all those things together. Maybe you can really touch the fronts of the feet into the mat as well. So we've got the feet connected, the pelvic floor, and then thinking about that crown of the head. Breathing out, lift, and we shine the crown of the head forwards. Adding in if you want. Lifting arms. Lift up those cactus arms. Keep the eye gaze down and lower. Still working with that pelvic floor. Lift. And lower. Adding in if you want then. Breathing out, lift. Breathing in, breathing out. Extend, reach those arms forwards. Bring it back to cactus. And lower it down. What it should feel like here, and keep repeating this, is just the muscles alongside the spine really getting that extension. And lower. Adding in if you want, so kind of working with some of the stuff we've been working, extend. And then see if you can rainbow one arm up, over towards the hips, up, over and back. Other side, up, over, and that's quite challenging move. And bring it up, over and back, cactus, and lower. Or maybe you just want to breathe out, lift, extend, cactus, and lower. We're going to go one more. Pulling in that pelvic floor. Try not to hold the breath. When you finish that one, just pressing in to the mat with your hands. We're going to come up to a cat stretch. So up on all fours. Just lift the top of the back so you get that space between the shoulder blades. Let the chin go down to the chest. Pull your tummy in, tuck your tailbone under. Just enjoying that little bit of space. Taking some deep breaths. Just going to adjust my film on that. So coming down, we're going to go to our plank position. Elbows under shoulders. Shoulder width there. Maybe loosen the fingers. I always tighten up my fists on this one. And you're just going to start by drawing in pelvic floor, drawing the TVA, and lift up the hips. So it's like that floating plank of wood, floating piece of wood down the river. Floating down the river then, if you want a little bit more, straightening out the legs. Holding your plank position. We're going to do 3 times 30 seconds today, so we're going to work on our planks a little bit today. I've already started counting. So working with this, keep pulling and drawing in pelvic floor and TVA. Try not to hold the breath. So maybe breathing in for 5, breathing out for 5. We're going to go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Keep squeezing. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower one knee down, lower the other knee down, bring the hips down. Take a little rest, and then we'll step it up again. Taking a deep breath. Ready to go again. Pelvic floor in TVA and lifting up those hips. Piece of wood floating down the river. If you want, straightening out the legs. Try not to hold the breath. If you want a little bit more, leg lift. Squeezing the glute, leg lift, one leg up, point those toes, and bring that foot down, swap it over, leg lift, point those toes, and switch it over. Thinking about the crown of the head shining forwards again, thinking about length in the spine. Keep breathing. So tempting to hold your breath on these planks, because we're focusing on squeezing all those core muscles together. But let the breath flow. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees down, hips down. Take a little rest. Whew. It's so nice to see everyone on the screens. I've got really good shots of everyone today. I can really see you working out. It's great. One more time then. Pelvic floor in, TVA in. You waving at me. Hips up. Last one, 30 seconds. Piece of wood floating down the river. Straighten legs if you want. Thinking about that tummy button, drawing it up towards the spine. If you want to work with those leg lifts, lift. Point those toes. Try and keep that control. Lift, point, return it. Nice. When you're lifting, think about the hips being nice and still. Use the glutes to extend. Try not to hold that breath. Are we still pulling in the pelvic floor? Yes, we are. Woo. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees down, hips down. Press yourself back towards your child's pose. I'm going to call it a pebble. Just because I was talking about rivers and all these sorts of things out in nature. Sit back towards your heels. See if you can get your forehead down. And take your arms down by your sides. Just give your shoulders a real rest now. Let your shoulders totally relax. Forehead on the mat. Knees as wide as you want. You don't have to bring your knees together on that. Send the breath here down to the lower back. So those belly breaths. And just imagine here you're a pebble. Maybe in the waves, in the sea. Or maybe the waves are washing over you. Couple more deep breaths. Just letting go of any tightness. So from there we're going to go on our sides. So picking a side. And we're going to go with our clams. Sounds like a bit of a theme, a sea theme. So stack knees, stack hips, maybe gently, the top hip comes over the bottom hip. Lift the heels up level with the hips. Find pelvic floor, find TVA and lift the top knee and lower. So you should find that glute med straight away, running around the side and the back of the bum. Lift and lower. So I always put my head on my hand. If that's not comfy, you might want to have your head down, whichever you feels good. Sometimes it's nice, I get a little stretch on my neck doing that one. And lower. So sometimes we go on our side and we're in a clam, we sort of lose TVA. So the belly button one. So really think about the belly button one. Kind of pulling that one in, hollowing out down towards the hips. Lift and lower. Should feel it now. So if you're feeling it on the front, just tip forward slightly. Lift and lower. You can always put a bit of pressure, so push down on the top hip, make it a little bit harder for yourself. Woo. 4 more. 4. Breathing out as you lift. 3. And 2. And 1. Extending both legs away from you. We're going to go for a double leg lift. So you might want to place your head down for this one to start with. Try not to look down towards your feet. So looking forwards, keep your chin lifted, length at the back of the neck. Lift the top leg. Lift the bottom leg. Hold. So this is your balance here. Then you might want to see if you can work with the rib cage too, right? Then take the arm up and over. Or maybe I normally do it like that, right? Yeah, I do. Lower it back down. We're going to do that one a couple of times. Lift, lift. Pelvic floor pulled in. Rib cage lift. Arm up and over. I've got one more add in. I'll do it on the last one. Lowering it all down. Pelvic floors in, lift, lift, rib cage lift. Work with that balance. Arm up and over. Now we're going to pulse. So a little pulse, kick sideways. Really tricky to hold that balance. And kick little pulses. Little mermaids. Just taking the feet forwards and back. Super tricky because you're trying to work with the balance, right? Nice straight legs, kicking from the hips. Woo. Holding that balance with the rib cage lifted. 4, 3, 2, 1. And release, bring it down. Can you see me alright? It's a bit sunny. Side plank then, so elbow underneath your shoulder. It's just where the sun's going down and it just keeps changing through these trees. Pulling in that core, lifting up the hips in. So I've done this with my bottom knee down. Options. You could straighten those legs, lift to that side plank. Arm up towards the ceiling or elbow. 30 seconds, just going for a little squeeze here. So pelvic floor in, TVA in. Holding those hips up as high as you can. Pull in those glutes, so squeeze the bum, squeeze the glutes. Try not to hold the breath. Thinking about that top elbow going up towards the sky. Take some deep breaths now. Ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lowering it back down. Brilliant. We're going to switch sides. So same thing. We're going to go on the other side. So we started with the clams. So bending the knees. Tip that front hip over the bottom hip. Lift the heels up level with your hips. Check that you're not opening there, you're not extending. So maybe curl in a little bit like you're almost doing a roll down. Pull in pelvic floor, pull in TVA. Lifting up that top knee. And lower. And lift. And lower. Should immediately start feeling it glute med runs around the side and the back of the bum. And lower. Engaging through the pelvic floor. Breathing out as you lift. Check that TVA switched on. It sometimes just turns off a little bit when we go on our sides. Just when I think a lot of us, like for me, I sleep on my side. I think when I go on my side, I relax a little bit. Try not to hold the breath. And 4. And 3. And 2. And 1. Straightening out the legs. Ready for that double leg lift. Lift the top leg. Lift the bottom leg. Work with the rib cage. Take the arm up and over for your balance. Hold. Legs are nice and straight here. And lower it back down. 2 more, then we're going to pulse. Lift. And lift. Rib cage lift. Should feel the obliques when you do that one. They're down the sides. Take the arm up and over. Keep working with that pelvic floor. Bring the arm back down. Last one, lift. And lift. Should get that glute med going on these lifts. Arm up and over, then the pulsing. Maybe pointing toes. The little mermaid move. From the hips, just little pulsing, forwards, back. And it should really challenge the balance, because that rib cage is lifted. It's quite hard to kick from those hips, isn't it? Keep the legs straight, work with pointed toes. 4, 3, 2, 1. And release it back down. We go for the side plank. Elbow underneath your shoulder. Lifting up the hips. Got these options. You could have that bottom leg bent for a bit of support, or you could go for the full side plank. Elbow up towards the ceiling or arm. Keep that nice opening in the chest. Try not to let the head really drop down towards the floor, so keep that nice line with the spine. Try not to hold the breath. Lifting up those hips, squeezing those glutes. Deep breaths. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and return it all back down. So from there, we're going to go on to our backs. I might have a little adjustment here, because I can see that I'm right in the sun, which I don't know if it's tricky for you to see me. Let's try that. Okay, so find yourself comfortable on your back, and then we'll work a little bit more core stuff now. We're going to go for our classic 4 toe taps. And oh yeah, that's a bit better, isn't it? 4 toe taps, 8 pulses, and an 8-second hold. Okay then, maybe a little pelvic tilt, find neutral spine, pull in pelvic floor, pull in TVA. Find the length at the back of the neck, the shoulders relaxed. Lift one leg to tabletop. Keep the right angle behind the knee. Lure it back down and switch it over. One leg to tabletop. Bring it back down, switch it over. Let's do a couple of them, just keep the hips still. Lift. And lower. Left. And lower. We want those hips still when we're running, when we're walking, so we can use the core muscles to keep those hips still when we're moving. So really good just to practice if you're walking. Place your hands on your hips or your lower back and just see what's moving. And then use your core and see if you can control that. Okay then, so that's our little warm-up. So we'll go straight into our sets now. So it's 4 toe taps, 8 pulses, 8-second hold. Ready then, if you want your tabletop, work your imprint and go for a little bit more. Ready? 4 and 3. Keep the right angle behind the knee. And 2, hips still. And 1. Lift the head and shoulders, look towards the knees. Imprint. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slide the hands up towards the knees. Rib cage to hips. Hold. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. 4 toe taps, here we go. 4, and 3, pulling in that TVA imprint. 2, and 1, lift and pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, stay strong in these wrists, no floppy wrists. 4, 3, 2, 1, reaching up towards the knees, straightening the legs if you want to. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. 4 toe taps. 4, 3, shoulders are relaxed. And 2, pull in that pelvic floor. And 1, lift and pulse. 8, 7, try and get that tension going down the arms. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, slide the hands up towards the knees, let's hold. 8, 7, 6, 5, keep breathing. 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. 4 toe taps. And 4. Shoulders are relaxed. 3. And 2, keep imprinting. And 1, lift and pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straightening the legs reach towards your knees. Hold. Ribs to hips. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. Last one. Let's make it 5. 4 toe taps. 4. And 3. Try and keep the right angle at the knee, hinging from the hips. And 2. And 1. Lift and pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Up towards the knees and hold. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Keep breathing. 3, 2, 1. And release. Take a full body stretch. Arms over your head. Straighten out your legs. Point your toes. Scrunch up your wrists. Push the backs of your knees into the mat. Squeeze your glutes. Pull your tummies in. Lift your shoulders up towards your ears. Scrunch up your face. Take a big deep breath in. As you breathe out, just letting go of everything. All those muscles. Just going really floppy. I think I can move back a little bit more now. The sun's gone. Bending the knees, then we're going to heel slide. So just slowly pushing one foot away towards the end of the mat and then bringing it back up. Hands are on hips. Sliding one heel away and then bringing it back up. Now think about these hips, so try not to let them tilt side to side. Slowly slide. And again, it's like placing your hands on what's working and what's stretching. So it's the hip flexors, getting a nice slow kind of steady stretch in there. So place your hands there on your hip flexors. Adding in, if you want, then arms up towards the ceiling. Opposite arms, a bit of brain gym. Opposite arm to leg, extend. And bring it back. Opposite arm to leg, extend. And bring it back. Notice if your hips are tilting there. So there's a bit of cross-body work. So find the pelvic floor, find the TVA. Notice as well with the shoulders. Maybe your shoulders are tilting. So really press the shoulders back into the mat. Try not to let the rib cage lift. Rib cage sometimes wants to lift as the arms go back over their heads. You like that move and you want a little bit more, tabletop it. So imprint. Work a little bit hard on that TVA. Opposite arm to leg, extend. Bring it back. Same move, just a little bit more work on the abs. Thinking about the hips being nice and square and still, not tilting. And the shoulders down away from the ears. Oh, I just noticed I haven't breathed for a while. Keep breathing. Breathing out into these extensions. 4 more. Maybe you can really make that one flow. Arms and legs flowing. Opposite arms to legs. Last one. Place the feet down, then arms up towards the ceiling or sky or trees. Turn the palms out, thumbs inside, palms out. Lift the shoulders off the mat. Keep the back of the head on the mat. Turn it back around. Press the shoulders in. And then again. So lift, keep the back of the head. Almost press the back of the head down as the shoulders lift. And then press the shoulders down. Relax the back of the head, right? 2 more. Nice shoulder release. We hold so much tension in our shoulders. And then lift. And pressing down. Breathing out, then take the arms up over the head. Try and keep the rib cage down. Circle them all the way around the body, back towards the knees. And again, breathing out. These really long out breaths. Take it all the way around. Back towards the knees. And then again. Start to now connect with the core as well. So find your pelvic floor. Find your TVA. Start to thinking about the imprint here a little bit as well. If you want to add in then, you're going to go double leg stretch. So tabletop it as your arms go over your head, straightening out the legs. So that's your double leg stretch. Thinking about that imprint. So the same amount of imprint on that lower back down to the mat as you do on your classic 5 sets of the 100. Breathing out into your extensions. So just notice here what's happening with your chin. So maybe think about keeping the length of the back of the neck, or you could even fold your mat over or a cushion and just check your chin's not lifting up towards the ceiling. So we're keeping that length at the back of the neck. That's brilliant. Great. Last one. Long out breaths, working into your extensions. Time check. How are we doing for time? We're doing good. Take the arms out to the side, bend the knees, breathing out, let both knees drop across to one side, looking in the other direction. Chest stretch, lower back release. Breathing in, recenter, over to the other side. Neck release, chest stretch. Adding in a little bit more, tabletop it. Draw the knees across towards the corners of the room and then extend, and then you get that lovely IT band stretch, hamstring stretch. Bending in the middle for your tabletops. Breathing out into your extensions. Again, notice with the neck there, so really try not to let the neck come up too much again. So it will do a little bit as we extend, but again, if you need your cushion in there, really thinking about getting those shoulder blades nestled in down into the mat. Working with that pelvic floor and that TVA, still pulling in. And if you're on a slope like me, I'm gradually going down this slope doing this move. That's quite interesting. I didn't know that would happen. Last one. Breathing out into your extension. A little bit more on the hamstrings in, so one leg up towards the ceiling or the sky. See what we can hold on to. So wherever you've got to hold on to. There you go, I'm just gonna get a little bit more space on that for my next move. Hamstring stretch. Try and see if you can relax your shoulders and your neck there. So push your weight at the back of the knee. Square up the hips. Try not to let them tilt too much in that one. Don't let the other knee turn out. Take some big deep breaths, filling out the chest. Same leg, going up towards the sky. We're going to go one leg circle. So keep that other knee still. And then working a little spiral here, a little circle with this nice straight leg up towards the sky. Very small circles, like the size of a melon. Well, there's different melon sizes, isn't there? Not a small watermelon. I know you can get those really big ones, can't you? And keep the control. So imagine here you've got a cup of tea settled on that bent knee. So really don't want to spill that tea on the other knee, because that knee, the other knee wants to spiral too. Try not to hold the breath. The other way around if you haven't done so already. This is your one leg circle. Shoulders relaxed. Try not to let the chin protrude up towards the ceiling again. Bring that foot down towards the mat, and then we're going to go the other side. So we started with a hamstring stretch. So leg up towards the ceiling. What can you get hold of? Try and relax your shoulders and the back of your neck. Push away at the back of the knee. Just take the hamstring stretch. Oh, hello hamstrings. Bit tight on this one. Try not to let the hips tilt. Take those deep breaths, breathing in for 5, and breathing out for 5. Then releasing out that stretch to the one leg circle. So really thinking about the other knee, keeping still, and then really slowly. So you almost got one in, one out breath for each circle. That's how slow we can take these one leg circles. Those small watermelons. Keep controlling the other knee. That cup of tea set on that other knee. Other way around. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Tuck the chin in slightly down so you've got that length at the back of the neck. Last one. So placing those feet down, maybe bring your heels a bit closer to your bum. Maybe you can touch those heels. I'm going to work with the pelvic tilt. Hands on your hips, and just slowly, imagine you've got a marble here. You're rolling the marble towards your shoulders, and then the marble's going to go all the way down to your feet. It's almost like a massage for the lower back, this. Just take your time. Try and go vertebrae by vertebrae. Enjoy that massage, almost lubricating the spine. Feel the length at the back of the neck. Think about the arches underneath the feet here. So a little bit of scrunch on the toes. Keep the arches underneath the feet lifted, engaged. Slowly lifting up the hips. Then we're going to take our shoulder bridge. Squeeze those glutes. Bring those arms up over the head. We're going to work there on the top of our shoulders so we get the length at the back of the neck. Chin goes to chest. If you want a little bit more, hips super still. Bending and lifting one knee, squeezing the glutes, and then see if you can straighten just up the top. And then bend and placing it back down. There's so much control in Pilates. Breathing out, lift that leg. Squeezing those glutes, keep those hips still. Straightening, bending and placing it back down. You can almost really think about this placing thing. So as you extend and then you point those toes, and then you point those toes and the toes go down, and then the heel goes down. Everything's really careful and those hips stay still. 4 more. Maybe you're getting a little bit of work and stretch into those hamstrings. Pressing up through those glutes. Try not to hold the breath. Keeping those hips super still. Still working with that pelvic floor. And when you've done that last one, bring the arms back over. Slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, lowering down the hips. Hug their knees into the chest and a little bit of a circle or a rock. And maybe you can rock yourself up to a seated position. So we've been doing our little rollbacks every week. Let's get these sticks out. So we'll have a little go on our rollbacks. A little bit different though. We take a seal. So take the soles of the feet together. Soles of the feet together. And you need to have the space behind you in your mat. Soles of your feet together. And if you're not comfortable with the rollback, just hold this lovely stretch for your inner thigh. So take your hands underneath. So I'll show you frontwards. Hands underneath. I'm going to tie you up in a little knot here. And then see if you can hold on to your feet. Hands underneath and then hold on to your feet. So super nice stretch there, okay, just holding there. And then if you want, lift it up so your feet come off the floor and you're in that hover. If you're going to roll back with me then. So we're lifting, we're on that hover, vertebrae by vertebrae, rock back. And then rock back up. It's going to be... And then you're going to... It's called the seal, right? Because you add in. So you go 1, 2, 3. Clap the hands together. Clap the feet together. 1, 2, 3. Rock back to a hover. 1, 2, 3. I haven't made this up, I promise. Rock back. 1, 2, 3. Rock back. 1. Whew, without the. Try to stay on that hover. 2, 3. Such a great move. It's so fun. I swear it's a proper move. I couldn't make this one up. I've got some people walking a dog. Hi. They probably think I'm crazy right now. Doing this. Out of all the moves they could catch me doing. Rock back. 1, 2, 3. Keeping that control on the hover is like the hardest bit on that move too. Okay. Oh, that was fun. Okay, bending the knees then. We're going to go for a few little roll downs and then we'll start to finish. So, feet down on the mat, just going halfway down into the bubble bath, pulling in that core, coming back out to seated position. And again, coming down into that bubble bath, just working engagement. This is rectus abdominis, a little bit higher up, coming back up. Pelvic floors in, TVAs in, halfway down. Coming back up. Breathing out. So back at the top, then we did it in the warm-up. Take a rainbow twist. Touch the mat behind you. Arm up and over. I've been trying to do so much work into the shoulders and the chest. Up and over and kind of opening, heart working with the heart opening. Come halfway down. Left. Just do a couple more of these little twists in here. They are hard. I know it's hard, but so much of our life is about kind of closing our hearts and like everything's going down, isn't it? Looking at phones and driving and this kind of just really helps with opening all of that back up. Halfway down. Last one. Lifting up, lifting over. Think about your chin and your eye gaze there. If you're looking down, it's super hard. If you kind of follow your hand with your eyes and your head. See how that helps. Straightening out the legs in. Feet go up towards the sky. Breathing in, lift. Breathing out, circle the hands. Touch the toes. Breathing in, lift. Vertebrae by vertebrae now. Take the full move all the way down. Full body stretch it. Breathing out, circle the arms down and around towards the knees. And lift. And forwards. Hamstrings should feel good after some of those things we've done earlier. The shoulder bridge, the one leg circle, your hamstrings stretch. Lifting up. As just really think about lifting that rib cage and that chest at that nice top point. Lifting up the heart. Control it as you come down. Last one, coming forwards. Really press those heels into the mat. Coming down, full body stretch it. Circle it around towards your knees. Lifting up. Bringing the arms down. Facing this way then, crossing the legs or sitting however you're comfortable. Try and get nice and upright. Fingers together underneath the chin into the sternum. Breathe in, get tall. Crown of the head going nice and high. Bye, Joe. I know you've got to go. I can see. I know I'm a few minutes over. Breathing out. Spine twist. Just looking across to one of the knees. Breathing in, get tall. Breathing out, other side. Coming to center. Breathing out. And then just lowering your hands down. We're going to stay in seated position, but I'm going to give you a different breathing practice now. Because it's been so hot, I'm going to give you Shatili breath. But I'm going to come up close to the camera. And you're probably going to think this is really silly now, but here we go. This is called Shatili breath, and it's cooling and calming. So you're going to make your tongue like a straw and stick your tongue out. And then you're going to breathe the air in through the straw. Put your tongue in and then breathe out through your nose. And it's called Shatili. So on these really hot days, keep it going. Stick your tongue right out as far as it can. Make it into a straw. Big deep breath in and then breathe out through your nose. So I just thought you might like that one for these really hot days. Namaste. Thank you very much.